All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is Friday. And if you say, thank God it's Friday, I'm going to call you a loser. Isn't that terrible? Because every day counts. All right? The ones that thank God it's Friday, they're the hourly employee. They're the lazy ones. They talk through the day. They take so many breaks. They just piss away the time every moment of the day. So what do we get to do? We get to get a tablet and pen. We get to go to work. Write it down, get it here. Don't take a picture, don't record. Today's date, June 25th, 2021. It's called Blackjack. December 31st, 2021. Can you imagine if you did what I told you to do in the next 6 months? You could have $1 million of credit. You could have $1 million in the bank too. Now, I don't know why you didn't do it last year or the year before that, because you didn't do it. Now you're watching me. Well, why? You see, you don't know the rules and the tools how to play. Well, let's see if I can help you today. There's the front door of one of my mansions, just before my coma. There's one of my yachts, there's one of my Lamborghinis and buildings too. You see, I brought in $1 million at 14. Why didn't you? Simple thing to say. See, procrastination is the killer of a dream. Did you forget to do something yesterday, today, until tomorrow too? We got to stop that stuff. We got a choice. It's simple. Time. I don't control it, neither do you, but we control what we do at the time God's given us. Let's not waste a moment or a second of the day. Ultimate goal, homeless? That's what I got to do as a kid. I got to steal and beg off the pier, eat out of a trash can. That kind of sucked. But I brought in my first 100,000 at 9.5. I brought in $1 million at 14, double billion at 26. How am I doing so far? Let me show you how I did it. You see, I listened to a silly poker game one day. I was 7.5 years old. The grown-ups kept going blah, blah, blah every Wednesday night. The bottom line is they said a corporation's a legal person. Can you write it down, please? You see, I went back to the library every day from 7.5 to 9.5 years old. See, I wanted to get out of hell. So when I went to that library, I said, what's a corporation? It's a legal person. What does that mean? She said, here's a Machiavelli's book. Well, the reality is it didn't tell me anything. It said a corporation's a legal person, but I needed a blueprint, rules, instruction manual. I wanted to know exactly what it took to get there, where I wanted to do. Kind of like what you've been looking for all your life, too. I connected the dots. You see, if you got a corporation today, you got to do a blueprint. You got to give it life. Me, I started my first one at 9.5. After going to the library almost every day from 7.5 to 9.5 years old, I sent away a little money order. Wanted to see what it would do for me. Well, they came back and I got 100,000 in the mail. Then they used to basically helping hand in the movie Dave too. Got $100,000. 14, I bought my first car. It was a Lamborghini, Countach by the way. So I brought in the first $1 million. See, you can play, but I think you're stuck. Now, what does that mean today? Pretty simple. I want to get you past go. I can show you millions and billions of dollars of goodies that I've obtained too. Lamborghini collection, Duffy, 6 mansions. Broke the record for the highest kick on the planet in 1981. I just wanted to prove white men do jump, and stupid people say we don't. Bottom line, from there, I parked my race boat in my backyard. Helicopter, yacht. Don't forget about the Ferraris too. Bottom line is, I don't know why you haven't done this. All I had was God and me. Now I wrote the rules and tools, basically Ray's rules. Write that down today. I got a blueprint how you can go get it without messing it up. July 4, 2009. We took people on that corporate yacht. Next day, I get to die in a coma. I had the worst top 3 cases in history of H1N1, pandemic number 9. I got to die, got to the other side. I got a choice to go back and stay in peace that day. I said go back. You see, the lack of knowledge is why you bring the pain home time after time again. You never had to do that since you're 18 years old. Ultimate goal, Godfather credit, they called me that in 2008. After I built $3.6 billion of credit for my clients, by the way. Credit rebuilding, we got to talk about that today. Understand, I know people say credit repair all the time. I don't understand. Credit repair makes no sense to me. A, the federal law says credit repair is a scam, not allowed to collect money up front. By the way, your credit's not broken. So the reality is, I'm the guy that trained Ken Yarborough years ago. Security chief at TAW and Asperian too. Maybe today I can train you a little bit. Once you Google credit service, exactly what I just showed you. It's going to refer you to the Credit Repair Organization Act 2, where it says attorneys can't do credit repair. Now what are you supposed to do? You have to rebuild it. Let's build a relationship in the dream, you and me. Let's see what we can do. Federal Trade Commission provides that information for you. For me, it's pretty simple to do. Every seminar, workshop, and boot camp, you're stuck with me. I don't pass the buck. So the bottom line is I'm going to answer your questions and hold your hand, but I'd like to do the work for you too. I'd like to do all the work for you so don't mess up anymore. Ultimate goal, I'd like to become your personal coach. At least for 90 days, maybe a lifetime too. You see, there's only 1,000 steps to the $1 million dream. That's all it takes to do. Next thing is, let's give you the first 25 steps today. You see, what we get to do is go to raisecredit.com, clickety-clack, get your credit reports for free. That's number one. Give me the report numbers and I'll make your score go up and away in about 90 working days. Ultimate goal, I'm going to ask you to start asking the word why. I want you to think about what people do every day. I'm going to ask you now, why do you have a Social Security card? Why do you have an SSN? Why don't you pull it out of your personal wallet now? Let's read it. It's step number 2. It'll say do not laminate, do not use for ID purposes. It actually says on the back of the card, property of Social Administration, not you. So the understand is very simple. When I invented rapid score and rapid refresh, I'd make scores go up about 200 points. If you want me to get your score to go up and away, just let me know. Ultimate goal, 90 working days is an average case. The bottom line, that's all it should take. That should be basically step number 3. If the worst case in the world, did it go 180 days? It won't go past that unless you keep screwing up again and again too. So the bottom line is don't do it anymore. You see, here's Credit Karma. When you look at Credit Karma, they say 33%, which is wrong. They have no phone number to help you anyway. Anything at 29% is in the green, 30 is in the yellow, anything above that's in the red. So you got to know the truth today. She had a 500 score and got 157 points in 45 working days too. So bad credit kind of screws up everything we're trying to do. So what do we get to do? Pretty simple. Give me the report numbers, let me analyze you right away. Then I'll look at the 12 acts we're allowed to do from the creditor to the credit bureau. Next thing is, I might even ask you to negotiate a debt or two. We got to get rid of that past problem if you have one too. Next thing from there, we might even have to take legal action. In other words, when I sued Chase Bank and put them in Santa Ana court, all right, the judge gave me another $5,000 too. I kind of beat up them too. You see, you got more rights than you think you do. Ultimate goal is pretty simple to understand. All right, the bottom line is I can rebuild any one of you. Let's take a worst case this week alone. 571, 562. 11 collection accounts, even laid on their card payment too in one account. What did I do? I added to my system, I added to my credit, and I asked for a separate card for him. 11 collection accounts. Wow. There's the score. And I got him a $3,000 card. Is that okay? See, during the process that I'm rebuilding you, I'm popping your credit if you allow me to. But that's up to you. You see, the credit rebuilding program, Rapid Refresh together, it costs $499. That's all it costs. All right, that's all it's going to take. Remember, average case is 90 working days. Every Saturday I have a class at 1 o'clock. It's analyzation education too. Ultimate goal, again, no case goes past 180 days unless you're screwing up again and again too. Now, while I'm on the webinar, now, because I broadcast up to 3 times a day and all day Saturday too, here's what I like to do for every one of you right now. I like to give you $1,000, all right, Visa cash card. That way you can reimburse yourself and get another $500 in your pocket too. Bottom line is pretty simple. So during this webinar live, all right, if you Zelle, because you get a money back guarantee, right away, what's going to happen is I'm going to get you a $1,000 card at the end of the program too, just because it's fun. So the ultimate goal is basically banks and credit unions use Zelle. You make me the recipient. Ray Reynolds, that's my name. Instead of a phone number, use my email address, ray@raisecredit.com. Then all you have to do is Zelle. And you get that card right away. Now, if you need to transfer a deposit today, you can do that too. We bank at Bank, America, and Chase Bank too. you might want to take a picture of that page now, so you have it for reference as well. Ultimate goal, you add yourself to the national mailing list. Sorry, you say, you did it to yourself. You get all that junk mail because you did that too. Half the robocalls is because what you did to yourself as well. Why don't you call 888-567-8688? Then opt out for 5 years. Let's get rid of that junk mail. That's step number 4, by the way. Ultimate goal is pretty simple. In the beginning, I want you to think of what's happened to you in your life. You plan the problem, because someone's always wanting to take it down, take it away from you too. Next thing we have to think about is safety credit. That way every time we have a problem, we have a backup for a backup too. Here's 2 cards in my hand, $50,000 apiece. So this $100,000 of personal credit, here's my problem. I can't write off the card the interest rate at all. And what happens with most of you, I'd like you to understand something. When you took a card past 29%, you jacked up the card, you dropped your score, you got stuck, you couldn't get any more. Can you put a sticky behind the cards you got in your purse wallet today? Write down the limit. What's 25? What's 29%? So what happens flat out is the moment you jack it up, all right, the card, you dropped your score, you got stuck, you just can't get any more. We can't do that to ourselves or our family anymore. Now write down a line of defense. In your city, you got banks and grocery stores that shut down locations. They bankrupt the location, got a tax credit, and they're playing the game, but not you. You see, so far, you've been bringing the pain home to you and your family too. You don't have to do that. Put the sticky behind the card. Make sure you write down never bring the pain home ever again. Ultimate goal, step number 5. You see, the only one making your score going up and down is you. 25 to 29%, you can maintain an 820 credit score. What happens most of the time with most of you, you lose your job, got an emergency, what do? Unfortunately, you do the same silly thing. You run out of time, you run out of money, and you jack up your credit in 42 days, and you bring the pain home. We got to stop doing that right away. Let's see if you'd like me to repackage you today. That means your house, your car, and your bank account. I'd like to change your life. Is that okay with you? Ultimate goal, I built credit from a cat years ago. See, cats have 9 lives, and after today, so will you. Egg Magazine, How to Finance Anything by Using Plastic. I'm all over that magazine, that issue too. You see, you get to use credit cards, corporate credit cards, lines of credit, right of interest rate credit card too. It can finance itself and write it all off, instead of you stealing the money from your family. You got to realize what we got to do is have a backup and a backup. So let's say something today and think. What if you needed $5,000 now? You need it now. You go to your friends, your family, the bank, they all say no. But if you had a $5,000 card like I have in my hand or the one on the screen, all right, and I had to max it out today, the payment's $50 a month. They do say you waste $50 every other day. I don't know if it's true, but it could be true with you. Now, what about this? What if you are true that you waste $140 a week? That's $600 a month. If I actually max out one of these cards today, all right, the payment is $612.26. So using common sense, the average person is wasting basically $600 a month. We could have used the card and got a, what, 2 pizza restaurants, start a business, stop bringing the pain home, stop wasting money too. Think about that for you. Ultimate goal, that's called step number 6. So here's what we get to do. We get to reach our goal and believe ourselves too. Me, I've always believed in God and I believe in me. So understand, when I broke the record for the highest kick on the planet, I just wanted to prove white men do jump. Alright? And stupid people say we don't. And remember, God gave you a gift and a dream. Why don't you see it, believe it, and go get it? Now let's go back to your SSN for you. You got an SSN, Social Security card, to get a job. That means you got taxed on your paycheck. They took the, and gave you the leftover after all the checks. At the end of the year, you got a 1042, a 1040 to file as well. End of your life, what do? You're probably getting probate because they pray that happens to you too. So if we look at the IRS public record, no one's teaching you how to play. Ultimate goal, that's what I'd like to do for you today. You got your SSN, you got your Asperian, your Transu and Equifax, you jacked up a card. What did you do? You jacked up the card, you dropped your score, you got stuck, couldn't get any more. Let's stop doing that, okay? Let's understand, put the sticky behind those cards today. Quit living off your credit. Ultimate goal, you got an SSN, another reason too. We are the collateral for the United States of America Incorporated, especially ever since Nixon took the gold standard out. So remember today, write down Ray's rules one more time, but this time write down $100,000 of credit. Next thing is, remember, only use 29%. That would have gave you $71,000 of safety credit. Case blanket the fan, lost a job or pandemic, it lasts an average 18 months. When people take the money and credit from the family and roll the dice, start a business, that usually hurts the family. Let's write down never bring the pain home again. Ultimate goal is up to you to play the game. Let's give you Ray's rules and tools today. Remember, that's number 7, by the way. So my first coma, 5.5 years old, last one in 2009. So this is when I got to die, I got to come back to. Ultimate goal, I'm from what's called Show Me State. In other words, there's one of my yachts, one of my race boats, a dock, address too. Please show me yours. You see, I want you to learn how to see it, believe it, go get it as well. H1N1, but I got to come back and help you. 5 weeks with an oxygen tank. Put my score back to an 820 and popped into the card again. Let's understand, I'd like you to have 5 closet divisions, the way I invented it and designed it for you. You see, every time there's a problem, let's pull out another one of you out of the closet. Hey, if the grocery store or the bank can do this, so can you. Fighting through the pain, pull up the closet division and go again and again in the same day. You never had to bring the pain home since you're 18 years old. You did it because of the lack of knowledge for you. It's like every day when I get up at 2:25. I drop to my knees, I always say thank you Jesus for another day. Then I go do the mirror test. Try it once, please. It's called Ray's mirror test. You look in the mirror for 2 minutes, you do nothing. But then you ask yourself 2 questions. And I always ask, have I completed everything I need to? No. Is there more to be done? Always. What happens with most of you, you got an idea. You go ask your friends and family to encourage you. Instead, they interrupt you. And they say, you got to do this or that too. 90 days. Shh. Allow me, please, to repackage you. Don't cloud your direction anymore. That's step number 8. In other words, I'll build the credit and hand it to you. You and I will talk on the phone too. I don't have excuses. God's delays are always God's denials too. Let's go get the money. See, for me, money, I don't have to steal and beg off the pier. I don't have to eat out of a trash can too. And the ultimate goal, we're getting older slower. We're not as pretty as we used to be. Go back to the job you hate. It's okay. Eventually they're going to fire you anyway and going to deliver some pizza. That's going to help you pay your bills, right? You see, I want you to think about what I've done. See it, believe it, go get it. Whatever I see that I want, I believe it, I pray, and God opens the door and I go get it. I've been doing that since I was 4. Step number 9, by the way. Ultimate goal, look at a grocery store and a bank today, or even Sam's Club. They shut down 63 locations in California 2 years before pandemic. What about the other 49 states? They bankrupt locations they didn't want, wrote it off on their taxes, and got a tax credit. They were playing the game. But not you, because you seem to want to bring the pain to your family too. Can you write down the word division in tax ID, please? Ultimate goal is like when the cities fall bankruptcy. You've had 11 cities fall bankruptcy. You heard it, but you didn't tear it apart like I do. I want you to understand something. You let life pass you by. We're going to start asking the word why more often, starting today. United States of America Incorporated. States are corporations, cities are corporations too. See, they even planned the problem in case it happened, called a Chapter 9 bankruptcy too. See, you got a bad day. You tend to bring the pain home. We don't need to do that anymore. Apple Computer filed bankruptcy in '97. Mr. Gates, who got indicted 4 times for being so smart, wrote a check for $150 million, saved their assets too. Now they're worth trillions of dollars today. Let's keep in mind one thing. Google the word bankruptcy. I want you to see where it says SSN, SS4. SSN, we only get 1, so we're all a bunch of Dougs. Corporation, division, subsidiary, more gets an SS4. So you Google bankruptcy and you find out I'm verifiable. And what I tell you is factually verifiable too. Ultimate goal, I don't want anything to go wrong. Heck, I want world peace too. Step number 10. So the bottom line is something went wrong. What are we going to do? We got to look at the SSN equals 1040. SS4 equals 1120. Line 10 right in front of you says banking and credit purposes. IRS public record. So you had one chance to screw up, and everybody screwed up 9 out of 10. What do we get to do? IRS public record. So today, who wants to be a Doug? None of us do. So let's rebuild you. Let's replace you. Why don't we make you a division of a corporation or incorporate you? Because you're allowed to. You see, you could have done this since you're 18 years old. Here's what I heard at 7.5. It's not legal advice. It's chapter 18. It says a corporation is a legal person that may sue or be sued. Ultimate goal, you could have done this since you're 18 years old. So remember today, if you did the corporation process, someone's going to always ask, are you a member of the BBB? Well, let's see. They got millions of companies who will not be blackmailed by them because the Better Business Bureau's been a fraud since day one. Understand, not only did the courts say it and tell them to shut their offices down, they got indicted in 2013, had to change their name and file a bankruptcy too. But they're still out there conning people like you. That's not me. That's 2020 and CNN. It's right in front of you too. It's kind of like if you're going to play the game, it's called winning the game of business. I wrote that 40 years ago too. Ultimate goal, you have 12 books and CDs. It's got the full blueprint for you. Office sells it for $9.99. At a webinar like now, I always give you half price of $4.99. So I'd tell you to get the books, CDs, 12 of those. Get the 1,000 steps, get to the workshops, play with me all day tomorrow. Ultimate goal, all you have to do is Zelle. Bank transfer deposit. That's simple to do. You see, today, I want you to understand, I was the incorporated for Rich and Famous People for years. 2019 of them, too. I even have a program for people coming out of prison. I got to rebuild their credit. And then within 6 months or less, I get them a gold and a platinum card, too. That's free rate Ricky Ross. See, you're going to have to beat your doubt, run your own race. But would you please let me do the work for you? As I teach you in the workshops, too, because that way you don't screw it up anymore. You got a lot to learn. That's step number 11, please. Understand, getting past go. Simple. God's gift, one of my mansions. I park my race boat and my yacht in my backyard. Where you park yours? Helicopter, one of the buildings and Lamborghinis too. See, today I want you to protect your ass. And quit bringing the pain home. Change your driver's license to a P.O. box or mailing address, please. But it's up to you. I like you not to bring the pain home using Ray's rules too. You see, you have the Driver's Privacy Protection Act. You can protect your assets every day starting now too. Step number 12. When I designed the divisions in 86, multiple functions, disconnect, isolate, incorporate, all right, separate pieces in cash and supply credit. This is what you get to do under the corporate umbrella. Kind of like if I do a corporation for you. I get you a gold card up to $1 million, paid over time. And then I'd say, let me get you 9 sister cards too. That way you can start creating a bucket of money and write it all off too. Just like putting a piece of property or even a franchise. You see, it's a numbers game. So that means if one of them screwed up, you got 8 left to go. You set up another one too. Every bank and grocery store and city do this. Why can't you? Ultimate goal is learning how to play. So I wrote a book called Buckets of Money, Tax Balancing, Become the Bank too. Ultimate goal, I said house and car and bank account. Your car, look at it. Think about it. When you bought the car, you let people sweat you for hours on end. You got up to $5,000 lost and up to 9 inquiries too. They handed you the piece of paper and said, we need to run your credit, and you filled it all out like a bunch of sheep. When you do it from now, when you sign the paper, write down next to your signature, it allows 1 inquiry. Take a picture from now on. I want you to stop this. I want you to start controlling what happens to you. By the way, the car should have been bought under tax ID and division. But currently today, you're the registered owner. Sorry to say that makes you a Doug. That's called step number 13. Let's cover your assets. See, when you drive that car to the grocery or the bank today, let's say there's a little bumpity bump, what is that person going to do? Scream their head off and sue you for everything you got. Driver's license, insurance, registration. So today, you pay for what? The insurance out of your paycheck. And then you pay what? It's been taxed. Corporation could pay for it before you paid it all. And no matter what I say or do, you're the registered owner. So the reality is you have the attorneys on the billboards as you drive through the freeway, the 44 on TV every day. What if they sue you and take everything you got? Why don't you think about changing it to a division of a corporation? So at the end of the day, they get diddly squat. Why not? But that's up to you too. Remember today, that's step number 14. So this car, tax ID, fleet price, and division. The greatest gift, it doesn't show up on personal credit reports. Because if you had a repossession today, the IRS can give you a 1099-C, which means you screwed up again. Ultimate goal, my 17 houses at 19. I couldn't get number 18 until I transferred into divisions. Not only did it save my loan-to-value problem, but I separate the liability too. Remember, your paycheck is taxed before you get the leftover. Corporations are allowed to pay all the bills first and pay tax on the leftover. Kind of like Lord pays zero tax on $10 billion. Why not? Amazon did. They pay no tax on the $10 billion. You pay more tax than they do. Your choice is to learn how to play. Don't say there's a loophole, because there's no loophole. They're doing exactly what they're allowed to do. And remember, we have to respect the Internal Revenue Service called IRS. It says corporations don't pay tax until it makes a profit. I like that too. $165 million house? It must be made out of gold. By the way, you can join the club too if you want to. That's all up to you. Newsweek, Loophole King, Disney, $1 billion in the bank. They want to pay tax. They wrote an IOU because dad also has taxes. So Mickey and Goofy pay zero tax. You pay more tax than they do. Congratulations again. Federal Express, Dish, Nike, and all these companies pay no tax. They do pay a gallon of gas and tax and property tax. But the ultimate goal, can you draw the 4 boxes in front of me? Let's think. If you listened and did this when you were 18, you could have set up a corporation or incorporated you. Set up the line of defense. See it, believe it, go get it. Got a problem with the division? What are we going to do? We're going to get rid of the bad one and keep the good pieces. And never bring the pain home. We never had to. Get rich and famous people can do this, so can you. Ultimate goal, you could have started doing this since you were 18 years old. By the way, that's called step number 15. See, I'm allowed to build credit or SS and SS4. I don't know how much credit you like, but let me know. So tomorrow, 7 a.m. in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to have 7 classes. Would you like to join me? So I can show you exactly like to be your coach and show you every step of the way. You see, again, 571, 11 collection accounts, late on their car payment, still $3,000 of credit. So I can help rebuild anybody, even in the process of bad credit too. Ultimate goal, credit rebuilding rapid rescore. It's $499. Saturday there's a class called Analyzation Education at 1 o'clock, Pacific Standard Time too. Average case is 90 working days. No case goes past 180 days, period, unless you keep screwing up again on you. Remember, during the webinar, now, I'll get you a $1,000 Visa cash card. But again, that's during the webinar. That way you can reimburse yourself and give yourself an extra $500 and enjoy that 750 score. It's called Zell, now. Takes your picture of that page today. Ultimate goal on Wednesday and Saturday, I have a class called Setup and Level 1. You pick the type of corporation you want and you name it too. So you got to set up the divisions and buy at wholesale price as well. You can go to Wednesday or Saturday or both. It's all up to you. I want to become your coach. Ultimate goal, if you got a corp, that's great. I'll help you build that one too. If not, I have a program called Starter Package for a Millionaire. Credit rebuilding, rapid rescore. Articles are free. Also has tax ID, setup in level 1. Ultimate goal, we want to give you $10,000 of credit too. Cash credit, no supply crap. Alright, we're going to give you half price on a webinar. $9.99 to you. $10,000 credit back to you versus $2,000. Millionaire in the Making, it's a great program because it does the same as the previous one, but it comes with $25,000 of cash credit. But then your cost is $2,499. And all you got to do is Zell, deposit, or basically deposit or transfer to. I'd like you to think about running your life through a corporation or in conjunction with the corporation at the same time too, but that's up to you. By the way, that's called step number 16. You see, the ultimate goal is pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. Today, your paycheck is taxed before you get the leftover. So we might think about saying the word no from now on. When you're paying that payment, gas, registration, insurance out of a taxable paycheck, why don't you let the corporation let you drive a company car? You can write it all off too. Step number 17. Ultimate goal, I'd like you to download an SS4 form that equals 1120. Line 10 says banking and credit purposes today. You get it says IRS public record. Number 18, write down irs.gov. Download an SS4 form today. Find out that I'm factually verifiable and know exactly what you can do to play the game too. Ultimate goal, the United States of America. They set up 50 states corporation. They have their line of defense too, but not you. They set up the cities. The cities are corporations again, but not you. For some reason, these aren't turned up loud enough because you keep bringing the pain home when you never had to. Remember, they set up their line of defense. They even basically planned their problem if they had one. All right, they can file a Chapter 9 bankruptcy on the city's debts and stay in business today. Check it out. It's public record for you. See, you are we the people. You can try, as long as you're trying, you're not dying. If you're not trying, you might as well be dead. But that's up to you too. It's constitutional right. So Nixon took the gold standard out. Mama has a baby this morning at the hospital, and they're federally mandated to have her sign an SSN form within 3 hours or less. That way the baby can't go in the stroller. Of course, he can't go home till Mama signs the SSN form. Is the baby late for work or something? You see, online, you see websites you don't have to guarantee. Sorry to say, that's called BS. To be a qualified CFO, to get cash credit, lines of credit, then vendor credit, supply credit, all right, marketing credit, lease credit, gas cards too, you still got to be a qualified CFO. As I'm done rebuilding you, that's not a problem too. If you see websites that say trade lines, I don't want you to break the law. I don't want you to break the rules and tools. I don't want to visit you in prison. Why don't you look at the Fair Lending Act before you buy trade lines too? Ultimate goal, corporations can write off the credit, interest rate, line of credit too, but you can't do it for you, but a corporation can. See, you get to play. Now, we expedite everyone because we make affiliate fees too. Faster we pop credit, the faster we help you, the faster we make a little money when we pop that credit for you. Ultimate goal, that's how the game is played. Remember, winning the game of business. Kind of like when you bought your house, I'm praying you use Ray's rules. Escrow, close, homestead, put it in a trust. Ultimate goal is pretty simple. If you didn't do it my way and somebody sues you, they'd probably take it away. Next thing, when you die, it's stuck in your probate. Your family got diddly squat for your lack of planning too. Remember today, if you were to fix up a property or two, I'd tell you to plan the problem. See, you're going to hire a contractor that basically hires a subcontractor that's down outside Home Depot. Good workers. But if they slip and fall and cut corners and sue you, they're probably going to take everything you got. What if you planned, like I told you at the beginning, plan the problem, and just, maybe quit claim deed properties into divisions, assignment of equity. Maybe you can make sure they get diddly squat and can't take anything away from you. I'd tell you to do an irrevocable trust, but do what you want to do. It's up to you too. Remember today, step number 19. If you're playing peekaboo with your IRS, knock it off. Corporations don't pay tax till they make a profit. So please, if you did that, go to irs.gov, download a form called 656, a 433A and B, get your free money, get your butt back in the system starting today, step number 20 for you. Now, properties, why would you spend money to fix them up when you can set up divisions to buy from the manufacturer to save 70% up to that too, and then you don't have to pay a bill for 30 to 60, 90 days. Let's use their money to fix it up today. But again, escrow could basically close, pay off the debt, have up to $200,000 left over. Then you should use Ray's rules, leveraging money. Borrow money is not taxable. So the ultimate goal, we can set up the line of defense, see it, believe it, go get it. There's basically number 21 called blackjack. You see, here's my office just before my coma. All right, Irvine Spectrum, 22,000 square feet. All right, no problem. The bank being there almost every day going, Banks love to kiss your assets when you got money. You don't have any money, guess what they do? They don't know your name. The banks borrow from the feds up to times 10, loan back 5 to you. If we did, leveraging money, raise rules, that money from that escrow could become up to $3 million. And that way you can use borrow money, non-taxable, buy McDonald's today. What I'd like to do for you tomorrow is set up your corporation, create the line of defense in the divisions, and build you a bunch of credit. One of your divisions screws up, what are you going to do? You're going to pull a Donald Trump, a Wells Fargo, B of A, or a grocery store. You're going to do the 3-step. Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. What are we going to do? Bankrupt a piece if we had to, but we keep the good pieces and we never bring the pain home, ever. Ultimate goal is learning how to play. Remember, starting today, that's start number 622. Step 22 for you. So what do we get to do? We have to think, what are we willing to lose? Everything has a risk. I don't hurt the family, the corporation, or the divisions. I want world peace too. But if I had to lose anything, it'd be a division. Why? They're cheap and I get another one and another one too. When I play the chess game, I knew I'd have to lose a piece or two. But winners always get checkmate. Time you be a winner too. Ultimate goal, step number 23. You see, July 3rd, 2009, my wife said, honey, can we take out one of the corporate yachts at the Huntington Beach House? No problem. Let me go fill it up. I used a corporate credit card, wrote off the interest rate in the card, $1,600, and I wrote off the yacht too. Why not? Because you're allowed to. Ultimate goal, there's my yacht, raised by you, Doc, address at the time. Show me yours, please. Came back with a 5 weeks oxygen tank, hiking like 150 years old. 820. Then I popped another card again. I have my closet divisions. I want you at the workshops all day tomorrow so I can show you closet divisions too. Fight through the pain, pull out a division, go again and again too. And never bring the pain home to you and your family. Since you're 18. God's using me to help you today. You paying attention? Building Lamborghini, said the Reynolds University. See it, believe it, go get it. Reach the dream, think and be the impossible. Let's use raise rules, and no one can take that away from you. Ultimate goal, I make millionaires. Would you like to be next? If it's true, let me know. See, motivation's never enough. I listen to it every morning, but the motivation I listen to is about the Bible. That's rules and tools. I like that. The normal motivation go blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I don't need any blah, blah, blah today. Let's build your story. How about I get you up to an 820 score? How about I get you 100,000 of credit and use 29% of your quality safety? What if we get you a corporation and divisions up to $1 million credit? Stop being stuck. So the ultimate goal, the blueprint, the rules, and the tools, 12 books and CDs, $4.99. Office sells it for $1,000. You get half price. All you have to do is Zelle, bank transfer, deposit. And I ship it right away. From there, how did the 14th Amendment, corporations are people, the United States of America Incorporated, all right, set up 50 states, corporations, line of defense, cities are corporations. Don't you think right now you're past due in setting up your line of defense for you and your family too? Well, up to you. Never have joint credit. Buy a house, escrow, close, homestead, put it in a trust. Remember, ultimate goal, corporation should have up to $1 million of credit. That should be the goal. Set up the line of defense. Every division should be for every piece of property, franchise, and current business. That line of defense is the way you have a backup for a backup. See it, believe it, go get it. We're going to use raise rules in the procedure too. That way we never bring the pain home ever again. Step number 24. You see, if I can get someone who's got 11 collection accounts, late on their car payment, screwed up everything else, and get them 3,000 to start rebuilding them, I can probably do it for you. I'm going to do it no matter what. The difference is if you allow me to. Credit rebuilding is $4.99. Ultimate goal, never past 6 months. Usually average case is 90 days unless you keep screwing up again and again. But that would be on you. There's a class tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's called Analyzation Education. And if you did it during the webinar, you get a $1,000 card. Could you imagine you get a $1,000 card back to you? That way you can basically reimburse yourself and have $500 in your pocket and build up more credit too. Remember today it's called Zell. I'm the recipient. Instead of a phone number, use my email, ray@raisecredit.com. Bank transfer deposit. But that $1,000 card is only good when you sign up during the webinar. Now remember, Wednesday and Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I got a setup class in level 1. All right, how to name your corporation, what type you want to. You learn how to set up the divisions, and you learn how to buy wholesale price. That's Wednesday or Saturday, or either one or both. I want to become your coach. I want to do most of the work for you so you can't screw it up, by the way. Ultimate Goal Starter Package for Millionaire. Credit Rebuilding Rapid Rescore. Articles have always been free for 43 years. Also is tax ID set up in level 1. All the goodies in 90 days with me. Office sells it for $2,000. But if you allow me to do it during the webinar, I always give you half price of $9.99, but I hand you $10,000 of cash credit through the program. That way you get 10 times back to you, and we take away all your excuses too. The next one's called Millionaire in the Making. Same goodies, but this one comes at $25,000 of cash credit. And half price is $2,499 again. Back to you. These are things during the webinar. Zell. All right, take a picture of the page. Maybe a bank transfer deposit too. All I know is, like I said in the beginning today, I'd like to repackage every one of you a house, car, bank account. That way you never bring the pain home ever again. The American Dream, I listen to it online, and events I try to go to them as well. At the end of the event, I always go up and ask if I can ask some questions. One, are you going to hold my hand every step of the way? Are you going to hand me $10 million of credit like I have in my hand too? Or like Johnny here said, all right, are you going to be like Tony Baloney? They took my $7,500 and went bye-bye too. Everybody needs someone to hold their hand every step of the way. I want to do the work for you. So remember, receiving money every month, pay all your bills. Everybody needs a company car. Go on a business trip, help other people free up their time. You got to set up the line of defense. See it, believe it, go get it. 1,000 steps and rules equals flat out $1 million company. 20,000 is a billionaire. So again, you could have the worst credit in the world. I can still rebuild anybody, even give him credit during the program too. Just like I did for him, I can do for you. $499. Rapid Rescore, credit rebuilding. $750 guaranteed. Class on Saturday, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time too. Average case is 90 working days. All right, never more than 180 days unless you screw up again and again. That's on you. And if you sign up during the webinar, I give you a cash card for up to $1,000 at the end of the program too. Ultimate goal is Zell now. It's up to you. Starter package for a millionaire. Articles also says tax ID, rebuild your credit, CFO, 90 days of workshops with me, level 1 and setup, 10,000 of credit, and it's $9.99 half price to you. It's a giveaway. Millionaire in the Making. You get $25,000 of cash credit, and half price is $2,499 today to you. Now the only thing you got to do now is step up to the plate. Zell, bank transfer deposit. If you do nothing, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. Bottom line today, you got to stay safe and strong. We got to do our best while Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. Remember today, it's pretty simple. The end of the day, all right, never lasts in step 25. You go to set level 1 tomorrow to get the next 50 steps on and on too. You can call toll free 800-510-3338. 800-510-3338. At the end of the day, I'm going to do my best all through the day. All right, like He does, and God's going to do their best for us and do the rest. Never, never forget.